now we go to the other huge story of today, and that is Iran. What's happening in Iran just breaks your heart. Today we've had some stories out of Iran that are just devastating. About 5,000 protesters at one point in the middle of a square, and there's police and militia everywhere, riot police, and they start beating the protesters with batons. There was a report I read that they attacked them with axes, that they threw them off of bridges, and this 17-year-old kid was not even part of a protest. They grabbed him off the street and they beat him senseless. And how are they going to deny this? I mean, here it is, right? This is what they did to a 17-year-old kid. And they said, oh, you want to protest? You want to protest? Here's what you do, right? And they tortured the poor kid. And why do they do this? Because they're trying to send a message. They're trying to send a message, don't go out in the street. If you go out in the street at all, this is what we're going to do to you. This is what we do to our people now, because now we have admitted that we are a dictatorship. And what dictatorships do is they don't give a damn about their people. They crush their people so that the few people on top could make more money and and they'll please with the ayatollahs and the mullahs and the Islamic clerics. There's nothing Muslim about them at all. You know how much money? I mean, Rafsanjani is one of the guys trying to take down Khamenei. So he's, at this point, considered one of the good guys, even though he has a very mixed record, and how good he is a very open question. And he's got, an untold sum of money that his family got. How'd they get all that money? You know why, as I told you yesterday, you know why the Iranians are so mad? The government is so mad at Britain? It seems so damn random. Every story you read, you're like, man, are they pissed at the British for meddling? No, the British stopped a frozen account that Khamenei's son has that might be valued at $1.6 billion. That's a report out of The Guardian. Where did Khamenei's son get $1.6 billion? Why does God need a spaceship? Okay, so of course they've been stealing from the Iranian people. And so when the Iranian people found out and they realized what a fraud their government is, they go out into the streets, and if they do this to them. And you see the results, and they beat them and they torture them. Now, if you think that's heartbreaking, wait till you get a load of a call directly from Iran that CNN got. We want to play you that clip now and show you, it's clip number 11, guys, show you what's actually happening in Iran.
Just a few moments ago, Ivan Watson spoke with a young woman who witnessed the crackdown, the latest crackdown in Tehran, as she was part of a group that was protesting the violence, the crackdown by the government, the death of Neda and others. Here is a bit of that interview from a short time ago.
All of a sudden, some 500 people with clubs and wood, they came out of Hedayat Mosque and they poured into the streets and they started beating everyone, and they tried to beat everyone on Sadi Bridge and throwing them off of the bridge.
This is a pedestrian bridge.
Yes, pedestrian bridge, and everyone also on the sidewalks. They beat a woman so savagely that she was drenched in blood, and her husband, who was watching the scene, he just fainted. And I also saw people shooting. The security forces shooting on people on Lalezar, and of course people were brave, they booed the security forces, but they were beating people like hell. This was a mass. They were trying to beat people so that they would die. They were cursing, saying very bad words to everyone. They were beating old men, and this was exactly a massacre. You should stop this. You should stop this. You should help the people of Iran who demand freedom. You should help us.
All right, Ivan Watson's conversation just a short time ago with a young woman, a student, described as a student in her 20s, talking about, describing a pretty brutal crackdown on the streets of Tehran today as people were gathering to protest the violence, the government crackdown.
All right. And apparently Khamenei, not hearing any of those words, the Supreme Leader came out today and said, I had insisted and will insist on implementing the law on the election issue, neither the establishment nor the nation will yield to pressure at any cost. Obviously, Khamenei has ordered this crackdown, and he's the one responsible for the beatings. Of course, they are doing propaganda now and saying, oh, it's the Americans, it's the British, it's the Zionists. Oh, you know what? Netta, the woman who was shot that we showed you a couple of days ago, yeah, you know, she was probably shot by MEK, this terrorist group who's against our government. And then in the absurdity of all absurdities, these guys don't even know how to do effective propaganda. Their lies are so outrageous. They said the other person who might have shot Netta was a BBC reporter. Yeah, really? BBC reporters are going around shooting Iranian women in the streets? No, as you heard right there from someone in Iran, they are ruthlessly taking out even women and beating them to a bloody pulp. And we show you the pictures of what they did to that poor 17-year-old kid. And it's happening all over Tehran. These people are absolutely brutal. And, you know, as I hear that woman crying out for us to help them, it's such a hard spot because I don't know how we're supposed to help them. But I'm dying to help them. If I was the president, I would every day, twice a day, I'd bring in the military and I'd say, give me an option on the 82nd Airborne. Just give me an option. How do we help these people? But of course, that would be an entire mess. I mean, how are you going to do? What is Mousavi going to, you know, take command of our forces there? The minute you land American forces there to help the protesters, it becomes a gigantic mess. You don't know who's on what side. We've been through that before. So it's absolutely heartbreaking, and you don't know what to do about it. You just hope that they prevail somehow. And the people still going out in the streets in Iran have all the courage in the world. I can't respect people any more than I do those people. I mean, you want to talk about yearning for freedom? That's it right there. And I have to say this one more thing. You have to give the Persian people a lot of credit because they are strong, they are independent, and they believe in freedom. They do.